After watching the 1.2 live stream, I had a thought that I honestly wasn't expecting to have this early into NTE's life. I think this might be a turning point for the game. And no, I don't mean because of one character, Shinku or Iroi, or because of one event, the 999 nights. It's because of what this patch tells me about the developers. When I finished watching the live stream, I wasn't just excited for version 1.2. I found myself excited for version 1.3, 1.4, 2.0, and so on. And honestly, the future of NTE as a whole. And that's such a good sign. First, this doesn't really feel like a filler patch. I know technically 1.2 is the patch before the main story finale in 1.3. Usually in live service games, that's where developers take it easy, right? They will save all the crazy announcements for the anniversary or for the next big story chapter. But watching this live stream, it honestly felt like I was watching an anniversary live stream. There was so much content, so many little details that players have been asking for, and that's what really surprised me. They're not treating players like they have to earn good updates, they're just giving us good updates. They are building trust. I think one of the hardest things for a live service game is building trust. Every game launches with hype, okay? Every single gacha game has so much hype in the beginning. But the difficult part is convincing players that 6 months from now on, the game will actually be better than it is today, or after 1 year. After this livestream, I feel more confident in the game than I ever did. But because I believe they will keep improving the game. They're not waiting for anniversaries, this is something I really appreciate. A lot of games, hold back their biggest quality of life updates or quality of life features. Almost like they're saving presents for us later. Then when anniversary comes around, everyone celebrates changes that honestly could have been in the game months earlier. NTE doesn't feel like it's doing that. It feels like the developers are asking, would this make the game better now? If yes, hey, let's just do it. The developers aren't stubborn. This might actually be my favorite thing. I've played enough live service games, gacha games, to know what stubborn developers look like. Sometimes players give feedback for months and nothing changes. Or the developers double down because they don't want to admit something isn't working. NTE feels so different on this front. They're constantly adjusting, for better or worse. Before patches, during patches, after patches. They're willing to experiment. They're willing to roll something back, change something back if it's not working. That tells me they care more about making a better game than protecting their ego. Experimentation gives me so much hope. I don't want NT to become another game that's afraid to try something new. The games I remember the most are the ones that are willing to take huge risks. Not every experiment is going to succeed, and that's okay. I would rather play a game that occasionally misses because it tried something interesting than one that plays everything safe forever. The community feels different too, and maybe this is just me, just from my observations, but after the live stream I've started noticing something. I'm seeing creators, right, content creators who barely talk about NTE suddenly making videos. Now, obviously, one live stream doesn't guarantee a long-term success. People can get excited for a week and then move on. But momentum matters. A game grows when people start talking about it again, and right now, it feels like NTE has momentum. This live stream didn't just make me excited for version 1.2, it made me confident that the developers know where they are taking the game. Because having a clear vision for the game is so important. They're not just like doing random stuff and hoping something sticks. I mean, they're kind of doing that too, but they're doing it, with a vision. We're gonna see, and then we're going to improve on it. This also creates pressure, right? I don't want to say that NT is perfect. It's not, okay? There's a reason why we have so much, complaints, QA changes, devs listen moment. Because people are complaining, people are voicing their opinion, and they are listening. In some ways, the live stream also creates more pressure, because now, us players, we are going to expect this level of quality every single pack. And version 1.3 is the big story finale. There are going to be huge expectations, okay? The developers have raised the bar for themselves, and I think that's a good problem to have, especially for us players, right? Because we want the game to keep improving. We don't want the game to get stale. We don't want the developers to get complacent, right? I mean, there's so many amazing gacha games out there, And you know, if you don't try to innovate, you'll be left behind. Because others have already, you know, set foot into the gacha space. They have a huge advantage. And if you want to succeed, you have to keep moving forward. So that's why I keep coming back to the same thought. This might actually be a turning point for NTE. Not because one character is releasing, not because one patch looks amazing, but because this livestream changed something much more important. My confidence in developers. I generally feel like they have a vision, they're listening, they're improving, they're experimenting, and they're not waiting for a special occasion to make the game better. If they can keep this attitude over the next year, I think NTE has a really bright future. But I'm curious to see, you know, what you all think. Am I getting carried away after just one great livestream? Because, you know, after the livestream I was just thinking, man, I can't wait to see what these developers do next. I genuinely think 6 months from now on, we'll look back at this livestream as either the moment, oh god, I'm getting attacked, as either the moment NTE broke into the mainstream, or the moment expectations became almost impossible to meet. Which do you think it will be? Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna have to run. Okay, I was, you know, I had the driving on autopilot, and now I have to actually manually run away. Otherwise, I'm going to get, you know, get destroyed. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. 1.2 is coming next week. Let's see. You know, let's see. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. But yeah, autumn out.